None of us will escape awful things during our lives, whether it's part of the family we grew up in, or what happened to us, or even some choices that we've made. The second part of this two-part series, From Pain to Purpose, is today. Today, we're going to hear from Dawn Dominguez. She's a licensed family therapist and founders of Window of Hope, a nonprofit counseling center. And for more about her, you can go back to episode 60 and 61. We're also going to hear from Dr. Deb. She's an integrative medicine doctor with a background in both Western medicine and naturopathic, and she really is a root cause specialist, and she started Serenity Healthcare Center. And for more on her, you can go to episode 100. And you're also going to hear from me when we talk about pain to purpose. And as you know, I do the Live Brighter podcast with Tara, and that's on YouTube. I'm the author of the Unravel Notebook on Amazon. I started a nonprofit center called Hope Harbor Transitional Living, which helps women thrive out of domestic violence and domestic abuse by helping with rental and mental health support. And I'm a life coach with Brooke Castillo and Parrot Institute and hypnotherapy specialist through Marissa Peer. You can hear more about my story on the first 8 episodes. So let's get started. Today with Live Brighter with Tara, we have a special guest. It's Dawn Dominguez. She is the founder of Windows of Hope, which is a nonprofit counseling service. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist, and she specializes in couples and relationships. So Dawn, welcome to Live Brighter with Tara.
Thank you for having me.
And then what would you like to add to that so you can let people know who you are?
Well, I'm an imago relationship therapist and an encountered couples therapist. And what that means is specific types of couples therapy. So we do a little deeper work and connection work and communication work. That's pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start more at the beginning. And how did you become a licensed family and marriage therapist? What brought you to that decision?
Oh my goodness. 40 years ago, I had my 55th birthday yesterday. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I know, I feel like it was quite an accomplishment, but starting at 15, I had my first therapist. I was a foster child and a runaway, and I met my first therapist, and he taught me about therapy. I was really afraid of it, as a lot of us are. In the movies and in media, it's pretty scary, some of the stuff we see around mental illness or therapy or anything about that. So I had a real misunderstanding until I met him. And he was so incredibly helpful and kind and taught me so many things about myself. And I wanted to be like him. So, so I started my journey at 15 of really trying to get all the school in to graduate on time and then go to university. And it was a struggle because I started at like 16 and had to finish high school in a year and a half. So
that's impressive, Dawn, especially from being foster care and a runaway to finding your passion like that and being able to help others.
Yeah, it was fun. I started to enjoy school, and there was a goal in mind, which a lot of times when I'm working with young people, I try to keep in mind and help them understand that we go to school with a goal in mind if we're going to go. Like, what is it that I'm really trying to accomplish, and what do I want to be, and what do I want to do with that?
Right.
And if I can figure that out, then now I have something at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. I'm not just nothing, you know? Yeah.
Oh, and then you started the nonprofit Windows of Hope in 2006. And it's really neat about this nonprofit because you have clients on a sliding scale. First of all, like, where are you located? I know you meet with people Zoom, but then explain more about Windows of Hope.
Windows of Hope is a nonprofit counseling center. A lot of the reason why I started that, I now that I look back, is I really wanted to practice the way I wanted to practice, and I started to get into. I met Harville Hendrix, who is the founder of Imago relationship therapy, and I found anywhere that I wanted to work, people wanted me to do it their way. And I wanted to offer the community, everyone, whoever, whether you have insurance or you don't have insurance, or you just need to process something, that you could find us and then have affordable counseling, so that everyone would have somebody to talk to and connect with at that level. And that was the whole beginning of Windows of Hope, was I could practice more depth therapy the way I wanted to do it. And then also I could offer affordable counseling to whoever, because a lot of people couldn't find therapy. Their insurance didn't cover it. I don't have insurance that cover that at all. I don't have anyone to talk to about these things that are really troubling us. So that was really the start of it.
That's
Yeah.
huge. That's a very big deal, because a lot of people, I would say the people that I talk to that want to go to therapy and don't, they say, well, it costs so much. And so
Yeah.
to know that there's options and how important it is, and then describe what depth therapy is. Like, tell me a little bit more about that.
What we do is a lot of deeper connected trauma work. So what we do, all anything that people bring forward. But what depth therapy means more is I can bring the couple together. They can see what's really triggering them in the relationship, and then we can find out what the source was. Because a lot of times we think it's our partner, and in reality, there's more to it. I am all the things that I was up until now. I'm the little girl who was in foster care. I'm the young woman who ran away. I'm the young woman who started school by herself with a frying pan and $20 and no support. No one in my family went to university, so I had to figure it out on my own and make that happen. And to really rely on everything that they've taught me along the way. So when I met my husband and I connected with my husband, I'm all of those people. So he could behave in a certain way and open up something that maybe happened when I was little. And I can help couples find that. And we can actually feel the original trauma, hopefully through the relationship, which is
That's
beautiful.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and traumas do, unresolved traumas, it's amazing how they do impact us and our relationships.
Yeah. The way I describe it is if I have a burn here on this hand and I don't have a burn here, and I blow on this burn, it hurts. If I blow on this hand, it doesn't hurt. Same blow.
Mm-hmm.
I brought that burn with me to my relationship. Now, maybe I can own my own feelings and where that came from, but also maybe my partner can learn how to be with me and know that I have a burn there, and he can be more careful, right? Or I could be more careful with his. And that's the idea, is to find those things that came with us in this process. Yeah.
And understanding, those core wounds and how to be thoughtful and healing of those. That's huge. Mike and I have talked about that a lot as far as with us. So that's awesome. So Don, personally, what do you do for yourself to, other than saying yes and no, to just like live brighter every day? Like, how do you nourish that?
I nourish that through quilting. You'll see I have some quilts in the office here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I do it through quilting. I do it through yoga.
Nice.
I take salt baths. I move at my own pace. I move at my own pace. I go only as fast as my slowest part. I take my time. I don't worry about time as much. I try to find my flow. Yeah, that's a big way. So yoga has become life. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So how can people reach windows of hope for potential for counseling?
So we have a website, windowsofhopecounseling.org.
Okay.
And so there's a form on contact us at the bottom. We also have my phone numbers all over it as well. So if you, or the business's phone numbers on it. So, I get all of those messages. I collect all of the, contact forms and the phone calls. And then I'm the one who helps find the best fit.
That's great.
Mhm.
And then do you have like one location now and then survey like lots of different states, or how does that work?
Yes, we have a Long Beach location for in person here. That's where I
Okay.
am today. We have a Palm Desert location, and we have Zoom. So we offer sessions over Zoom. I do some of the Google Meet for those people who want to do it through that, or FaceTime. But yeah, we have screens and we do everything online as well. So yeah, if you're interested, we're also going to start some couples Zoom classes. So if people are interested in that, reach out to me through that contact form. And I haven't decided when we're going to do them Friday evenings once a month, but I haven't figured out which one we're going to start with yet. So there'll be a 2-hour Zoom class once a month.
Oh, that's great. I love your passion for relationships. I
Yeah.
think that's fabulous. And also your passion for freedom. I know you're also passionate about mental health, all of those things. So that's pretty amazing.
Yes. My father sought treatment. He had manic depressive disorder back in the day, which we call bipolar 1 now. But he sought treatment here in Long Beach. And it came to me one day, oh, I see why I ended up here in Long Beach doing this. I used to visit him when I was a little girl here, and he ended up losing his life to the addiction and the bipolar disorder. The medications weren't as useful and helpful back then. So I
Oh,
think
wow.
I think that's a lot of why um, I started the nonprofit in the first place. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. That I want
No,
to make sure, yeah, everyone has opportunity to speak with somebody, and that they
oh,
have to go through the system, so to speak. Right? Yeah.
that's amazing. So basically you've used your pain from foster care system, pain from losing was it your father?
Yeah, my father.
Your father from bipolar and all of that, and you've used it to create hope for others. That's
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, yes. The gifts
Well,
that come, right? We talked about that earlier. That I'm going to say goodbye to some stuff and some people, unfortunately, and then I'm going to take the gifts and make something with them. And
like a
this,
beautiful quilt.
yeah, it's like a beautiful quilt. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, Dawn. Is there any last words you'd like to give to anyone from Live Brighter?
Yeah, just behind every complaint is a wish. So if you ever find yourself feeling a frustration or a complaint, probably there's a wish behind it to find and some hope for growth and healing and moving through the trauma onto the other side. So that's the only thing I was thinking that might
Hmm,
be important to say. Uh,
that's great. I love it. Thank
mhm.
you so much, Dawn.
Thank you.
Are you feeling stuck in with love, wealth, or peace? Well, you're not alone. Often it's a subconscious belief holding you back. That's why I combined life coaching and hypnotherapy together so you can break through what's been keeping you stuck. Life coaching helps you shift your mindset while hypnotherapy works deep within to reprogram limiting beliefs and memories. It's fast, it's effective, typically one session of each, and I have a few openings left. Are you ready for a change? Visit livebrighter.info and book your free consultation and see if this approach is right for you. See you then. Today, we have the pleasure of talking to Dr. Deb Muth, if I say that right. She's a
Yes.
naturopath, women's health practitioner, and she is recognized for her investigative approach to identifying the root causes of health concerns, leveraging broad expertise in chronic disease management. And her programs include hormone imbalances, toxic mold, sexual dysfunction, thyroid disorders, adrenal, detoxification, and the whole scoop. She founded Serenity Health Care Center in Waukesha. Am I saying that right, Dr. Deb?
You did very
Waukesha,
good.
Wisconsin in
Yes.
2011. And now she's a leading Midwest integrative clinic serving patients globally with advanced protocols. Woohoo! And there was a lot more we could say about you, Dr. Deb, but let's get started.
Awesome.
So
Well,
first
thank
of
you.
all, yeah, you had your own journey to get into this, to evolve into this. Tell us about your journey.
I did. So I started in naturopathic medicine when I was very young, about 29 years old. My journey started back then, when I started experiencing some very bizarre symptoms. And I was keen enough at that point, not knowing anything about functional medicine, but I knew going in to see my doctor, I was coming out with one of two diagnoses, fibromyalgia or MS. I remember going in that day. It was an August day. It was 100 degrees here in Wisconsin. I had on a long sleeve shirt and a fleece jacket, totally comfortable. That should have been their first sign that something was wrong.
Yeah.
And a little flag. And I was sitting there comfortable, you know, and the tech came in and took my temperature and he's like, I'll be right back. I think this thermometer's battery is dead. And I'm like, okay. So 3 times after that, when he came back with different thermometers, he's like, I'm just going to let the doc deal with that. I was a young nurse practitioner. I'm like, tell me what you got just by curiosity. He says, oh, your body temperature is like 95.4. And I went, that's a little bit of an issue. And he's like, I'm sure it's broken. Don't worry about it. And it still never clicked to him. Like I was still dressed like it was cold outside and I was fine. And of course, the doctor never addressed it at all. And I left that appointment with a prescription for narcotics, a prescription for antidepressants. I was told I had fibromyalgia, go home and get ready to be disabled in 4 years. I was 29 years old. And at that point, back in the day, we didn't know a lot about functional medicine. That was all stuff you did under the table. They're your witchcrafty friends. Thank God they don't feel bad that I call them that. And I still call them that. Yeah. So I called my friends and said, you guys all know someone that can help me. And luckily they did. They took me to a nutritionist, taught me about herbs and diet and said, you have a thyroid issue. And we treated my thyroid issue. And I was totally fine. Within like 3 weeks, all my symptoms were gone. And I knew at that moment that I needed to go looking to learn more about what these people were doing. Clearly, I missed the boat in my education as a nurse practitioner, understanding any of this. And fast forward to 2022, I started having some bizarre symptoms after the lovely infection that, you know, has plagued the world today. And I saw my orthopedic doctor thinking, oh, I've got a bad neck. I've got some numbness and some tingling and this weird brushing on my face and this weird feeling in my leg once in a while. It's got to be my neck and it's impinging on something. And I remember seeing him and he looks at me and he's like, Deb, you're a smart lady. You know what's going on. And I looked at him and I'm like, yeah, my neck's all out of whack. And he's like, no. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I think you have MS. And I looked at him and I went, oh God, here we go again. I said, I don't think so. I think you're crazy. He's like, enlighten me. Let's get a brain MRI. And I laughed and said that I can prove to you I have a brain. I'll do the brain MRI. That's okay. And we joked a little bit about it. And 2 days before Christmas, 2022, he called me and said, you have white matter brain disease. You have MS. And I said, okay. I said, well, your world and my world are a little bit different. And he says, I know, but do me a favor, go see the neurologist. You can start on medication. They'll take care of you. Your symptoms are minimal. You'll live a long life without any problems. And I said, so you want me to take some drugs that are going to suppress my immune system and give me cancer? And he's like, Dab. And I said, thank you, but no, thank you. In my world, MS is something different until proven otherwise. And I said, you know, on this report, it tells me I could have Lyme, I could have toxins, I could have viruses, I could have this. He's like, you don't have any of that. You're fine. And I said, well, I did have Lyme. I was exposed to mold. I do have heavy metals. He's like, no, it's fine. And I said, okay, thank you very much. But I'm going to go do what I do best and I'm going to reverse this. And he's like, you're not going to reverse white matter disease. And so last year, what is this, 2024, October of 2024, I had a repeat brain MRI that showed I had no white matter disease. And I grew my gray matter by 2 points, which is unheard of. And I did not have MS. It was all of the toxins that were inflaming my brain. And so that's been my journey through all of this. It's kind of crazy.
It is. I resonated so much with you because I got misdiagnosed when I had Hashimoto's. It was been misdiagnosed and I had, at one point it was thyroid cancer and the other side I was bipolar and it was all pretty wild. So I totally understand that. And then I have two friends that supposedly had MS that were able to change their lives and completely different. So understanding this whole holistic integrative approach is huge. So what are some practices and habits you do personally to live brighter and just show up your best every day, Dr. Deb?
Oh, that's a great question. I love that question. So I do a lot of work at the computer. I force myself to get outside in nature every single day. I love to walk. So walking is my time that I can just take for my time. I can breathe. I can listen to a nice book or some music if I want to while I'm walking. And I just can be brainless for a while because that's really important for us to turn our brains off. I always do some kind of meditation before bed. I try to wind down. I used to be that person that worked all the way up until 11 or 12 o'clock, shut the computer off and expected to be able to go to bed. And let me tell you, ladies, that doesn't work very well. Your brain is so engaged and you have all these wonderful things you want to do. You can't do them all. So now I turn the computer off at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I don't listen to social media. I don't watch social media at night. I try to listen to more relaxing things, meditative things. I love the brain retraining videos that you can get on YouTube for free, where they just start to rewire the left and the right side of the brain and calm that brain down, get you ready for sleep. And I force myself to take some downtime too. So at least once a week, I don't do any work. I just sit, I relax, I spend time with my family and my kids and just do nothing. I force myself to take a vacation at least twice a year where nobody can get a hold of me. And I make sure I go someplace where nobody can access me by phone. And I say, you guys are all on your own. You got to figure it out. If it's really important, you'll figure out how to get a hold of me on Facebook, or you'll email me or something, but I don't check emails while I'm gone very much. So those are some of the things that I do on a regular basis.
That's great. It's funny how you say I have to force myself because you're motivated. You have a mission. You're helping people. And I'm so glad you're forcing yourself and taking care of yourself. That's amazing. How can people get a hold of you and reach out to you if they're interested in talking to you about integrative wellness and what's going on in their own lives?
Thank you. So you can reach me through serenityhealthcarecenter.com. That's my website. And all of our social media handles are Serenity Healthcare Center, or you can find me at Deb Muth on social media as well. Or you can listen to my podcast, Let's Talk Wellness Now, where we talk more about these in-depth things about healthcare and surrounding women's health and all the latest topics.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Take care.
Thank you.
Our emotional cups can get full without us really even being aware of it. But when our emotional cups get full, we can react rather than respond. We can be fatigued. We can feel burdened. We have struggle with sleep. We can have physical symptoms. And that's why I have the free Barf Notebook page for you. And it's a simple process done regularly where you're barfing out your thoughts, sorting them out, and planning them out. And it's a wealth of healing in that. So go ahead and check the link and have access to that free Barf Notebook process. Live brighter every day. So what really got me passionate about what I do now and the importance of it is from my 22 years of a domestic abuse marriage where there was psychological abuse and religious abuse, and it was just mind messing up. It was very challenging. I had a lot of physical illnesses. I had 2 psych ward visits. I had a bipolar diagnosis that further perpetuated that I was the problem. It was very difficult for me to leave because I was overly kind and I had these Christian beliefs that were really keeping me trapped and that really weren't accurate. So now is why I focus on encouraging women and men, because there's a lot of men in domestic abuse, just from transitioning from overly kind to empowered kindness. And that's really by reconnecting with God and Source in a way that's love-based, not fear-based, and reconnecting with ourselves in a kindness and a care and a priority of, God first, us second. And then connecting with others in a healthy way, which means showing up authentically, telling the truth about ourselves, and having some boundaries. So that's what I'm really empowered by. But the most things I really believe we can all live brighter. And as we free ourselves up, we're made to shine bright in this world. And we can really only do this if we're not tethered by beliefs and limiting beliefs and just some, breaking free from all of that. So that's my passion from my own crap. So how do I live brighter every day? Is I really have been intentional about figuring out what brings healing to me and what hurts me, and really being honest about that. It's my responsibility to take care of myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. And there was a whole reprocessing after getting out of the abusive relationship, because I was part of the problem, being basically a codependent or overly kind. So, really just working on that part of me that tends to go that way. And then balancing the fact that I'm a shithead and I'm amazingly loved by God, and supporting myself through morning routine, night routine, and healthy relationships. I really love my, relationship with my husband and my kids, but really showing up authentically and making those relationships healthy for both parties. And that's how I live brighter every day. So in conclusion of this 2-part series, I just want to remind us all that we're all on a journey, and we all can learn and grow 1% from the challenges we've been through. And it's never perfect. We all are going through challenges, and it's a beautiful thing when we can use our pain and we can have it create purpose and help others around us. I don't think our pain is ever wasted, and I think it can all be redeemed. And I want you to just live brighter 1% at a time and make it a great day. Share this episode, and I'll see you next week. Stay tuned for our next episode.